Hi everyone. So this is the last part of this comics workshop, and what we're going to do today is we're going to look at design and essentially how you can use words to explain and add more detail to some of the stories you're telling. So this is a comics page that I did. I use ink and then watercolor over the top to tell a story. And what's really important, much like words on a page, in a book with no pictures, you can see the text goes from left to right and up to down. So it's really important to design the text and the layout in a way that flows, so the reader knows which bit to read first, and then second and third and fourth and fifth. So as you can see here, it's also important to leave space around the words that you put in your speech balloons and to make sure that your writing is quite clear. So let me give you some tips on how you can do that too. So when we're designing our comics, we usually use panels, which are these little boxes, to put the different pictures in. And it helps if the panels are the same size as well as portrait rather than landscape. Because if you can imagine, most people will look at these on their phone, right? So they'll hold their phone like this, and so it'll help if you draw them this way up rather than landscape. So if you're going to draw, for example, the start of a story, you can use what are called caption boxes up here. So in the captions, you can put the words in that you want to introduce your character with. So what you can see here is I'm using capital letters, which are these bigger letters, because they're slightly easier to read. You can also see that I'm leaving quite a lot of space around the words. So there's quite a lot of space here and a lot of space here. If I put the words too close here, it can be quite hard for people to see, for example, that that's a letter E. So always try and leave a bit of space around your letters when you're writing them in the caption boxes. Next are speech balloons. So here, for example, it's always better to put in the words first. So draw the words in first, and then you can draw in a speech balloon around the words. Once you've drawn this balloon around the words, you can then just draw a line that goes from the middle of the balloon towards the mouth of your character. So that way we can see who is speaking to who. So next up is a thought balloon. So this is very similar to a speech balloon, but here, again, we're going to write our words in. Also, remember, it's always better to try and use about a sentence of words, right? So don't try and write too many words in, because that can become quite hard for people to read. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to just draw a thought balloon that it looks a bit like a cloud, right? It's a bit fluffy. As you can see, it doesn't matter if the speech balloon goes to the edge of the box. And the difference between this and this is being spoken, right? And this is being thought. So you can see here, I did a little study where I thought, what would it look like if I was thinking about something? So I did the eyes looking up, because that's what most people tend to do when they think. And I did a finger at the side of my mouth, like, And then lastly, if you're drawing a story about where you grew up, for example, you can add a bit of an environment. And so here you can see you can make the edge of your box a bit jagged like this. And if you do that, and then you draw a line that's sort of like a zigzag, it looks like I'm shouting, right? And again, it's going towards the character. And in the background, you can also see I drew what looks like Big Ben. So you can put ding dong, like Big Ben is chiming because it's 4 o'clock. And you can see like the Millennium Wheel in the background, right? So here, it's just a quick way to be able to show that this is London. I mean, obviously I could put some rain in, that would probably help, but that could then be anywhere in England. So that was a really quick introduction to comics and visual storytelling. As you can remember, in the first session we looked at faces and how to draw age. In the second, we did more about emotion and how you can put expressions on people's faces to build empathy. Next up, we did bodies and how you can create gestures and different body positions to add a bit more description, visual narrative to your story. And then we finished up by drawing some of the guidelines for including words into your pictures. So what I hope is that you take these skills and you move forward to tell your own stories, which I think are so essential nowadays, so that we can share different perspectives and learn more about each other, where we're from and what we like to do. So my name is Dan Archer. It's been a pleasure hopefully giving you some advice on how to become cartoonists. And feel free to get in touch if you have any questions. And I look forward to seeing what you guys create.